We're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Ms. Carter, can we have a roll call, please?
Chair Cobb is not present. Vice Chair Perez
Here.
Dr. Sheila Williams.
Present.
Tommy Old.
Here.
Ronnie Walton.
Here.
Valerie Bowes.
Here.
Sharon Wood.
Present. Okay, now I'll ask Ms. Bowes to read our ethics awareness statement.
Welcome to the June 27th, 2024 meeting of the Elizabeth City Pasadena Board of Education. It is my duty to remind members of the board that it is your responsibility to avoid all conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest in accordance with Chapter 138A of North Carolina General Statutes. As public servants, it is your duty to continually monitor, evaluate, and manage those personal, financial, and professional affairs in such a way as to ensure the absence of conflicts or potential conflicts. Does any member know of any conflict of interest or potential conflict of interest with respect to any matter coming before the board today? Let the record reflect, Karen, that no conflict.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bowes. Can I get a motion to approve our agenda?
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second. Okay, it's been moved by Dr. Williams and seconded by Gordon. Can we get a roll call vote, Ms. Carter?
Dr. Sheila Williams.
Yes.
Tommy Old.
Yes.
Ronnie Walton.
Yes.
Valerie Bowes.
Yes.
Sharon Wood.
Yes. Okay, now we will have some recognitions from the school nutrition department. Ms. Tammy Reinhardt.
Thank you so much. Well, I had my speech all memorized, but now Chair Cobb is not here. So Board Superintendent, thank you for having us tonight. I want to recognize some of our ladies that they all deserve to be recognized, but three of our ladies were recognized at the state level a couple weeks ago in Greensboro. And if Ms. Yolanda Banks would come up. Ms. Yolanda Banks received the most coveted award for child nutrition and school nutrition. It was the Mary Long Beasley Distinguished Service Award, and this award is given in memory of Mary Long Beasley, who was a strong advocate of school nutrition and dedicated to providing healthy meals to students promoting learning. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award that celebrates Yolanda's dedicated career as a manager, marked with her positive spirit, optimistic outlook, and service to the children of City Pasquotank. Yolanda was the only manager to be honored with this award in the state of North Carolina.
One, two. Got it. So good. Okay, congratulations.
So proud of Miss Yolanda. Miss Allison Rollins. And I failed to tell you, Miss Yolanda Banks is the manager at Sheep Harney Elementary School. So doing great things there. Miss Allison Rollins. And Allison was chosen for the Dr. Lynn Harvey First Timer Scholarship Award that provided $500 towards her expenses to attend the School Nutrition Association of North Carolina Conference for the very first time. The Dr. Lynn Harvey Scholarship is in honor of our Senior Director and Section Chief of School Nutrition, representing the SNA, School Nutrition Association, as our National President in 2017. Allison was one of 3 awardees for the state of North Carolina, and she is currently serving in the role as interim manager of Northeastern High School. Ms. Allison. Our next award was for Miss Crystal Turner, and Crystal was the recipient of the Reginald Ross Inclusion Scholarship Award. This scholarship is in honor of Reginald Ross, who is retired now from the North Carolina Department of Instruction as a consultant in school nutrition, and he served as the president of our National School Nutrition Association in 2021. Crystal was chosen for this award in celebration of her abilities and her leadership in our program. She is always promoting school nutrition with a positive attitude, a joyful spirit, and determination. Crystal is our compliance coordinator and my right arm. Thank you. Thank you so much for that recognition. It's wonderful to be recognized at the state level, but it's really special for the people at home to find out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Reinhardt. Turn the next portion over to Dr. Parker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We are excited to have some visitors with us tonight that are representing a trip we just actually attended at the Community Schools Conference. And so I asked Bill and Jerry to come forward if they would. We're going to talk a little bit about our community school initiative, and we're really looking forward to those particular opponents. We have, I believe, Mr. Kip Barclay joining us virtually. So Dexter, if you could check on that with us. Would you communicate with him and see if you could get in on this? That would be great. And so recently, as the board knows, we have spent a lot of time and energy on promoting our community school model, PW4, and that program through grant funding that we received through the federal grant, and also a grant we applied for 2 years ago. It's expanded this year to Northeastern High School and Elizabeth City Middle School, and so we're really excited about that expansion. And we're really moving into a new phase of expanding local and state and national partnerships. And so Bill and Jerry went with the team that the grant was able to fund to go to Atlanta to a national conference about community schools. We learned a lot of things, and so we're really excited to share some of those things. So Jerry, if you'd like to kick us off, we'll spend a little time to see if we can work through and get on this here and can talk a little bit about the conference. So thank y'all for joining us and appreciate you sharing tonight.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us. My name is Jerry Johnson. I work at EC. I'm a faculty member, and I work in the Rural Education Institute. I'm sure you've heard a lot all year long about the wonderful things that are happening at PW4, from the leadership team and from HIP and from people involved on the ground. I thought I might tell you a little bit about another side of this project that has been more my side of it. And part of what I presented at the conference in Atlanta, along with colleagues of mine who are doing similar work in Vermont and in upstate New York. So what a lot of people don't realize is that the initial funding that we got from NCDPI to do this work in Elizabeth City was a research grant. And they were funding research studies to investigate how to mitigate the impacts of COVID. Many of the other proposals submitted wanted to implement some kind of slick intervention cooked up by a professor in their office someplace and see if that raised reading scores or something. And what we proposed instead was, if we can put time and energy into engaging families, engaging community, engaging the board and other leaders, and really creating opportunities for people to be involved in the school, that would eventually lead to higher levels of student engagement, which we know from other research will eventually lead to higher levels of student achievement. So playing the long game, not just going after a bump in test scores, but really trying to build something sustainable. And so I've been studying this. While we've been doing all this cool stuff, I've been collecting data. And we're finding some pretty dramatic results after just 1 year of implementation. An increase of 200 to 300% in participation at school events, school activities. We're regularly getting 300 plus on a family dinner night, which is not just dinner. It also has learning enrichment activities for kids. It has opportunities for adults to learn in areas like financial literacy and well-being for new moms. And so we're bringing in expertise from the community. We have psychologists from Elizabeth City State coming in to work with people and do workshops, United Way, and other community partners coming in to do things. And so what we've been seeing over this year has been a dramatic increase in parental involvement. We also have been collecting qualitative data by talking with parents and listening to them and hearing what family members have to say. They're reporting more bi-directional communication. They feel heard, and they feel like that they're having these opportunities to interact with teachers and learn from them. Parents are reporting to me that they feel a greater sense of self-efficacy about their kids' education. They feel better able to support their kids and help them at home, and they feel more confident because of that, and they feel like their kids are doing better. And I think you'll see that show up in the ultimate measure of where the rubber hits the road in student achievement levels at some point. So I wanted to give you kind of that side of it because, yes, the activities are wonderful, and I'd love to hear about those, but I wanted you to hear that backside of it too. There's a purpose in this. And it's a long game purpose about creating engagement, getting more people involved. And now, PW Moore is a model for how to do this. It's the only university-assisted community school in the eastern part of the state. We have people coming from Duke, we have people coming from Asheville to spend time at PW Moore to see how to do this work and to learn from what HIP and others are doing there. As we expand further, so we recently got a grant that will allow us to implement 20 new community school sites in the eastern part of the state. In year one, we're adding 2. Both are here. So now, not only will PW Moore be the site for people to learn about how to do community schools in eastern North Carolina, but Elizabeth City Pasquotank Public Schools is the site for how to do it. It wouldn't be possible without the support of Dr. Parker and the board. One of the things that we hear from our partners on other sites we work with is how difficult it is to do this work when you don't have that higher level support and belief in the system and belief in the ability of the community to have a positive role in all this. And so we thank you for supporting that work. We look forward to expanding the work. We look forward to getting better at it. And we look forward to leveraging all the great things happening here and creating opportunities for people to come and learn from what's happening. So, thanks.
Thank you, Jerry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Blake. I serve as the Executive Director for Albemarle Area United Way. I happen to also be a bivocational pastor. So grateful for the opportunity to go to this conference in Atlanta with Jerry and team, head Keith Rivers, and others from ECU like Kristen. It was so encouraging to be amongst 5,000 people from all over the country who are doing this work. And when I thought about coming this evening and reflecting upon my time at the conference and the work that we're doing, I couldn't help but be reminded of just the human condition, right? Sobering fact, you probably have heard this
medical reality before, but let me remind you that when an infant is born, if that infant does not receive touch, love, affection, despite having food, water, air, all the basic necessities of life, that infant will not thrive, potentially have diseases or even pass away. We realize this so much that even in our penal system, when someone's in prison and they've misbehaved, not only are they in prison, but we'll put them in solitary confinement. It's something that kind of wrenches at our heart, and we just realize it's not the way that we're supposed to live. Well, I would sort of argue with community schools when we think about textbooks and notebooks and providing a building or school bus or things of that sort. The basics are not enough. In order for students and families to thrive, we really need to provide all of the resources that are available. And so, one of the things that I really enjoyed hearing at the conference was community schools isn't something new. It's not anything that hasn't been tested and proven. And we're seeing already in 1 year, just in this community, at one school, the dramatic impact and results. Every school should be a community school. Every school should have family engagement. So, again, I was so thrilled and excited to be able to go. I knew I was in the right place, and you might see I'm wearing one of the buttons that they handed out, and you can see maybe this colorful logo. Some of you that have been in the area a while, and about 4 years ago, United Way launched a community impact program called CCC. It's one of the resources that HIP and others in this region utilize when they encounter families that need help. Well, if you notice, the logo looks very similar. I knew I was in the right place when I was there in Atlanta. Having not seen this logo before, we created this 5 years ago. So anyway, I stand here today just to tell you that United Way is committed to being a part of this solution, a part of the community schools engagement, and ensuring the long game, as Jerry noted, that our young people thrive and that our community will prosper as a result. So thank you again, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Jerry and Bill. I think we've had some technical issues with it and wasn't able to be here in person. But one of the things that I'm just excited about now asking that is, as you know, we partner with United Way and support the United Way in campaign every year. And so I've had the opportunity to serve on the United Way board, and doing so, Bill and I really worked closely over the past year on a couple of things. And so what's encouraging is the partner organizations in United Way, Bill, and other community partners really are just sort of stinking ready to engage with some of the work we're doing. And so on this particular conference, we were able to bring some community partners to the conference. And so, now our work is going to be to find ways to partner and to make that kind of impact that Bill's talking about. So some really encouraging things. And as we move into next year, we'll have 3 community school directors at those 3 sites. He will be working to support them. And in our strategic plan, we've made a commitment to replicate the community school model at every school in the district. And so we're working toward that goal. And it's exciting that we're moving at a really fast pace of being able to do those things. So I just want to thank y'all again, Jerry and Bill, for joining us on that. And
If I could share
yeah, absolutely.
First, when we talk about expanding, that's not expanding ECU's footprint. That really is engaging additional partners in this work. So we're going to be working very closely with United Way. We've also been meeting regularly with representatives from Elizabeth City State University. They're going to be a very important part of this also. So we're building this ecosystem of support to get a lot of people at the table to help make this happen. With regard to long-term thinking about all the schools in the district, all the schools in the state, that kind of thing, I'll share with you a little from my experience. I've only been in North Carolina for 2 years. I used to work in Florida, and I was closely involved with community schools there going back about 10 or 12 years when they first started happening. The first community partnership school in Florida was Evans High School in Orlando, and it started around 2014-15. We were just looking at these numbers every year. In 2014-15, they got a grant a little larger than what we got here, about $600,000. And then the legislature got involved in Florida, because they see results, the same kind of results we're seeing at PW Moore, and we're communicating those results to policymakers too. So what's happened in Florida is the legislatures created a line item, put money in it, it grew, it grew, it grew. It's now to the point where community schools are an $11+ million annual line item in the Florida legislative budget. Not grants, not competitive, it's just there. So this has results, and so I fully expect to see the same sort of thing happen in North Carolina. PW Moore, Elizabeth City Pasquotank are going to lead the way, but it's going to be a statewide thing at some point because it works. And we've seen that in other states, and we've seen legislation put money behind it because they see that. So.
Questions or comments from the board?
Thank you, guys. Now we have the 2024-2025 HL Trigg Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System options.
Good evening. Vice Chair Perez, distinguished board members, and Superintendent Dr. Parker. I come before you this evening to present information in regards to the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System options for the 2024-2025 school year. The Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System was developed to provide additional accountability information on eligible schools and to supplement the school performance grade. The Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System is not a substitute for the Every Student Succeeds Act ESSA requirements. North Carolina State Board of Education students ESSA requirements and State Board policy establishes the eligibility criteria for participation and the options available for use by eligible schools. Schools identified by this system continue to be part of the accountability reporting and are required to be included in the assessment participation report. According to the North Carolina ESSA state plan, all schools receive a school performance grade for identification of comprehensive support and improvement, which are known as CSI schools, and the targeted support improvement schools, which are TSI schools. For schools participating in the Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System under Option B or Option C, the school performance grade will be reported as required under ESSA for these eligible schools, but will not be included in the school report card or school report card performance grade reporting. For this upcoming year, we are requesting that HL Trigg Community School returns all of their students' status to their base schools within our LEA. HL Trigg School will be given the letter grade of the school where the highest percentage of students are sent back. Last school year, they had a higher percentage of students from River Road School. And that school exceeded growth last year, and so this school, which they have Trigg, took that letter grade and from River Road. So they are considered a school that is progressive. Since HL Trigg participates in the modified system, ECPBS must submit this request annually. For the 2023-24 school year and all the previous years, we have selected this option for HL Trigg. Being that the end goal for HL Trigg students is to successfully graduate and receive their high school diploma or transition back into their schools, the Testing and Accountability Department are requesting that we continue to select option B. And if, as you all know, that this particular past school year, with the 22 credits, we were able to send those students who were seniors back to their home school and they were successful in their graduation. So for the 2024-25 school year, the Alternative Schools Modified Accountability System, we would like to select option B. At this time, if you have any questions, please feel free to share.
Okay, are there any questions for this person?
Thank you all, and have a great evening.
Thank you. sorry, Nina, do we need to take action on approving that? Okay, it just wasn't on the,
It wasn't on the form, I'm sorry, I didn't say that we were voting.
Yes, I would like you to take action on this piece. And it's option B. Yes, option B.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
I'd like to move to approve the option B for the 2024-2025 HL Trigg Alternative Schools accountability system option. So option B.
Okay, we have a motion from Ms. Wharton and we have a second from Dr. Williams. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Chair Cobb not present. Dr. Sheila Williams.
Yes.
Tommy Holmes.
Yes.
Rodney Walton.
Yes.
Valerie Bowes.
Yes.
Sharon Wood.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Wharton.
Thank you all again.
Okay, now we will have a presentation from Dr. Parker, the new logo for ECPPS.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a couple of things right here. We've been, over the past year and a half, working on a couple of things to think about the future for ECPPS, and one of those has been working to create a vision and a focus for our strategic plan that the board approved last year. And so, as a part of that, we thought we were going to think about how do we think on our strategic plan, but also create a new logo that represents where the district is headed and what the vision is for the district. And so we've spent the last year really thinking about that very heavily, and I just want to share with you some work we've done to help us get to that point. We'll get the next slide. So we've spent the last several months really just talking to folks about what makes Elizabeth City and our school system, our public school system, unique. And so we've heard a lot of different things from folks that have talked about how we're a special organization, what we mean to the community, what we mean to our students. And so some of these groups have been as little as 3 people, some have been 40 people. We solicited feedback from our school administrators, from students, from leaders, teachers of the year, and really just tried to have an open-ended conversation about what you think about when you think about ECPPS. So we can generate some ideas. Through those focus groups, we then took some of the big themes that folks said about what makes us special and unique, and we sent that to our graphic designer, a gentleman named Stephen Brewer, who has worked to design a series of drafts that led to the logo we're presenting to the board tonight. Stephen used the information and themes from the focus groups, created several drafts that we then took back to the focus groups. We did redrafts back, we eliminated, we added to, we continued to tweak and focus until we came down to the logo that we presented tonight. So part of this is just focusing on how do we brand and think about what's unique to us. Go to the next one. So what we're presenting tonight is a new logo that represents our mark, our brand, and some of the things that great marks and logos do is they are easily identifiable. You see the logo and you think about the organization. The check for Nike, Apple for Apple. These are not endorsements of those companies, just examples. But you think about what organizations when you see those. It provides an initial impression to you, and it signifies the experience that you might get with that organization, and it reflects the tone you might have with the experience with them. Logos and grade marks do not explain the company. You can't necessarily look at them. You can't look at the Nike check and know anything about Nike. You just know that that represents Nike. They don't necessarily persuade you to something, and they don't really tell a message. That's not what the point is for what they are. So those are some things that we have considered as we think about what we're presenting. Look at the next one. In the focus groups, and this is what this logo tonight is based on in part, but this is what we heard from focus groups over the past year when we talked about what makes us special. One, our community is unique because education is extremely important to who we are as a county and a city community. We have right here in Elizabeth City opportunities for pre-K all the way up to grade 16. Our young people can enroll in our pre-K programs, they can go to public school, they can go to higher education, they can get all of that in Elizabeth City. With the public school that we have here, Elizabeth City State, Matthew, and COA. So education is a foundation of who we are as a community. It's extremely important to us. Everybody we talk to in ECBS, but also in our community, comments on the fact that there's a belief and a feeling in our community right now. The future is bright. Elizabeth City is on the move. It's growing. Things are changing. It's a place where people are wanting to come to. And those are all things that signify a bright future for all of us. Our employees and our students say the same thing about our schools, that something's happening, something's changing. There's an energy, there's a momentum. We're moving forward. So we wanted a logo that would specify that. Thanks for hearing. The logo we're going to present to the board tonight is based on those things. And so it's a metaphorical approach. It's not literal. We did have some literal logos that you could look at and say that has to be a logo for a school system because it had a graduation hat or had a schoolhouse in it. Some of those logos can be literal. This logo is not. It represents an idea. You'll see in this logo a couple of things. One, you're going to see a sun and a river or water, and the sun represents the bright futures that lie ahead for our students and for our community. The sun in this logo is a rising sun, not a setting sun, and so that specifies that our best days are in front of us, right? The best is yet to come for our community and our public schools. The river in this logo represents the educational journey that every student takes, and it's it's a winding process. The river flows, and it's a process where we say you in Elizabeth City can start pre-K, you can go all the way to grade 16, you can graduate from university. So that's the time, right? That's a journey where we get to play a part of that for our students. So that's reflected here. The use of the water in this also is a little component of it because, as you know, we're known as the River City. So this is a way to specify the nature of how the water has shaped who we are as a community. So next slide here is the logo that we're presenting to the board tonight. And that is the one example of the logo there. So the logo could take a couple of different forms. One could be with the wording that is written around the logo in circular form there. The next slide can show how it may appear on a sign billboard or an image where we have a school system that's written beside of it there. And then the final slide will be showed just as an example how it might appear on a t-shirt or a window or on a computer screen there. And so we're really proud of all the folks that have worked really hard to help us get to this point and to give us the feedback and to work through the pieces that got us to this point here. So I want to thank everybody that was involved and we'd love to take any comments or questions for this time.
Do we have any questions or comments from the board? I like it.
Yeah, I think you explained it well. I'm sure exactly what you tried to do. Great. So thank you to the team.
If there's no other comments or questions, I need a motion to approve the new logo for ECBS.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve the new logo for ECBS as presented.
I'll second that. Yeah, the motion from Dr. Mr. Walpole. Actually, you got that. Mr. Wells, second from Ms. Gordon. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Chair Cobb, not present. Dr. Sheila Williams.
Yes.
Tommy Old.
Yes.
Rodney Walker.
Yes.
Valerie Bowes.
Yes.
Sheila Williams.
Yes. Great, thank you. Now we will turn it over to Dr. Parker for the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Today marked the last day of our summer school summer retest program. So I want to thank everybody that has been involved to make that program extremely successful as it has been. We ended school on Friday, June 7th, and we opened school right back up on Monday and Tuesday, June 11th. So that meant that we had to run buses, we had to prepare food, child nutrition, We had to have teachers on deck, we had to have school administrators ready. And so it took a significant amount of work to be able to prepare that. But our program, summer school program, ran from June 11th until today. And so we're not able to share the results of that program yet because the results of how students perform are embargoed until the state releases that data. But I can tell you I'm extremely proud of what our young people have been able to do in the retest program, and we're able to be very excited about sharing those results publicly with the board and with our community. So I want to thank everybody that's involved in that. I want to thank also our school principals and teachers that work in the program. I want to thank Nikki Griffin, who you saw just a couple minutes ago, but one of the things that we did this year in the program is we monitored student performance on retesting every day, and we also monitored student attendance because they were every day. So we had school principals that were had a list of students that were attending and students that had not yet attended, and principals were calling students up until today, asking them to come in and retest. And so our participation in the summer retest program increased substantially this year. We had one principal several principals that made calls. They went to students' homes and spoke with them, said, hey, you come, was able to get them to come. So we really did a full press. But one of the things that helped us identify subjects that were improving and subjects that had not yet improved like we wanted them to was Nina was monitoring every day these tests. And so really every day the program, Nina was up very, very early, calculating what the retest did for the subject areas and grade levels. And then we had a shared data dashboard that we shared with all of our school principals, our team, we're tracking every morning. And so it's been a significant commitment for Nina and the curriculum team to be able to monitor the data at that point. That allowed us to see more engagement. So Nina, thank you for helping us be able to really monitor and do the things that we need to get kids involved. So very excited about that. We have transitioned now into 4-day work week, so anybody that is in the community that will be looking to access the school, just a reminder that we work 10-hour days on Monday through Thursday for the remainder of July, and Fridays the school offices and departments will be closed. So just a friendly public announcement for that one. And we're looking forward to, in short the time, we will open school back in just a couple of weeks. And so we're already preparing for that. Some of the work is going on, so they're going to say that. And we have some new school administrators that have moved into some positions that are starting in some new roles. And so we will be in the next couple of days sharing a list of all those with the community and families and posting that online. So a lot of really good things. I was talking to Rachel today. We were looking at some things, and we have made a lot of progress on staffing. So we're reducing significantly the amount of vacancies we have in our core teaching positions. So a lot of work going on right now, but we're very proud of the progress we've just made in June. And I want to thank everyone that's been involved in that. Quick report.
Great, thank you, Dr. Parker. I now need a motion to approve the minutes from May 28th, June 17th, and June 21st.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for May 28th, 2024, June 17th, 2024, and June 21st, 2024 as presented.
And we'll have a motion from Ms. Rose, second Mr. Walton. Can I get a roll call, please?
Chair Cobb not present. Dr. Sherwood Williams.
Yes.
Bobby Gold.
Yes.
Robbie Walton.
Yes.
Valerie Jones.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're at the public comment portion of the meeting. I do not have anyone signed up. All right, now we are going to have the Finance, Business, and Technology Committee, Chair of that committee, Sharon Wharton.
Okay. I'd like to call on Assistant Superintendent of Finance, Candy Tilley, who will present the items for action tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Warden, Vice Chair Perez, and distinguished board members. I want to start off by saying thank you for having this meeting this late in the month. It is very helpful to my team and I as we close out the fiscal year. MBTA 1 are the budget amendments, and these are, you'll see a lot of attachments, where a lot of explanations of the attachments because we are doing a lot of cleanup. And you'll notice, which is something really rare in June, is the same budget additional allotments. We were receiving additional state money as late as May 31st. And so you will see those, some of those items say budget additional allotments. Specifically in state, we received about $99,000 on May 31st. We received a new allotment on June 6th for some homeless transportation for about $35,000. So, while we were trying to close out, we started having to do some more shuffling. So these amendments are indicative of that. Do you want me to go through each set, or it's really clean up stuff, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
If anyone has any questions about any of it, we received everything in our packet, and I assume everybody's had an opportunity to look at it. But if you have a question, please feel free. I myself have no questions.
I can promise you, Meredith and I have looked at it several times today.
I'm sure. Looks like no one has any questions, so let's move on.
Okay, MPT 02, if there is anything that needs to be done after today, this is giving Dr. Parker the authority to do any additional amendments if we need them. We are not anticipating that as of right now, but we would like to present this for your approval so that we can in the event something, comes up. And finally, MPT 03, as you know, the state has not passed a budget, so we are in a position where we have to pass a continuing resolution so that we can continue to operate come Monday, July 1st. And that is the attachment of MPT 03 so that we can continue to operate. And finally, MPT 04 is a revised Board of Education meeting schedule, and Dr. Parker is going to discuss that revision. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Billy. So what we put here is a recommendation to the board for a revision to the board meeting calendar for the upcoming school year. And I'll share just a couple of the points behind the recommendation. One is one of our strategic priorities, we have four of those, but one of our strategic priorities is operational excellence. And we're in a lot of our departments really focused on how do we do more with less, how we maximize time, energy, human capital, and how do we continue to be efficient with how we use our time and what we do with our time. And so one of the things that we're recommending to the board tonight is that the board consider integrating the committee meeting that has occurred typically on the third Monday of the month into the regular meeting, which occurs typically on the last Monday of the month. And through some things that we work through, we believe we'll be able to be more efficient in our preparation for the board meetings and preparing the board for action items, and also to maximize the board's time and our staff's time to be able to get all of that work done, but also do it in a time for school meeting. One example of a benefit for this would be for members of the general public or families and communities that may want to attend board meetings in person and hear what's happening. They would have to attend 2 meetings to hear sometime what is content that can be covered all in one meeting. And so we're trying to be mindful of folks' time, particularly folks with families, and recognizing that the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock time is a commitment to be able to really work with the family to come to 2 meetings. So by moving to one, we'll be able to cover the same agenda items, but also recognize that would be 1 meeting a month for the public to have to be the same content. The other component that we looked at is it'll also allow our staff to be able to prepare the content for the meeting more in advance and make that information available to the board. And then the final component I would say is it's a commitment on behalf of our staff, both in terms of technology and prep, to those 2 meetings a month. And so this will help us just with the human resource allocation of being able to prepare for one meeting, make sure that we have done that in a very efficient, organized way. We have looked at our neighboring counties and districts throughout the state, and our neighbors, and there's several districts we looked at that have utilized the once a month structure, and it has seemed to work very well for them. So the basis behind this is efficiency and recognizing and trying to honor folks' time, but also being able to continue to ensure the board is able to engage in the business that it needs to do. So I'd love to take any comments, questions, or anything that the board might want to discuss or chat. One other piece I forgot to mention that I will add is we're also in this calendar making a recommendation to move the meeting location to Pasquotank Elementary here into the media center, which is going to be a space that we are repurposing to be a fully functional meeting space, both for our staff, for professional learning that may occur in the district, and also for our board meetings, so that we can have a consistent technology, audio, media set up that will help us with the production of the meetings to make sure we continue to live stream those, and also be a consistent location where folks will know that's where board meetings occur, that's where they take place. So that is reflected here in the recommendations of the board. We will continue to recognize our schools as we've done that. We get a lot of feedback that folks enjoy that, so we'll continue to recognize students and staff every month, as we've done, but we'll be inviting staff and students and families to come to Pasquotank Elementary into the library when their month comes that they're recognized. So the location, I think, will also help in that area in addition as well.
I think we're all.
If there are no questions about that particular item, I'd like to move to approve FPT-01, Budget Amendments 110, 206, 310, 403, and 807. FBT-02, the year-end budget amendment authorization. FBT-03, the continuing budget resolution. And the last item, FBT-04, the 2024-2025 revised board calendar. And I need a second.
So,
We have, excuse me, we have a motion from Ms. Gordon, second from Mr. Walton. We get a roll call vote for that, Ms. Parker.
Chair Cobb not present. Dr. Sheila Williams.
Yes.
Tommy Old.
Yes.
Rodney Walton.
Yes.
Valerie Bose.
Yes.
Sharon Newton.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Tilly, and thank you to your department for all the hard work.
Okay, our next committee is Loyal Citizens and Healthy Students Committee, and Mr. Tommy Old chairs that committee.
Yes, and I'll refer to Ms. Reinhardt.
Thank you again, Vice Chair Pereza, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Parker. Tonight, I wanted to ask for action to bring the Northeastern North Carolina Co-op bids to your attention. This is all three of our bids. We have recommended bid awards to Cisco Hampton Roads. We are one of 13 counties that are part of this co-op. And this bid covers our lot 1 is our groceries, and you see the total there, it's over 5 million in groceries. Lot 3 is our supplies, and that is over 530,000. And then lot 4 is a new bid. So the other two are renewals in their second year, and the produce would be a new bid this year. That would be awarded a recommendation would be to Cisco Hampton Roads. And those totals are the total of all 13 of the counties that are with this co-op. The other bid recommendation is a renewal bid, and that is with our milk Mayola. And they did not raise our prices, but they did add the 0.5 cent raise to cover the federal milk order, the delivery order. So that was a recommended renewal as well. And we are in a partnership with Currituck County Schools on our milk delivery for better pricing. Is there any questions?
And these are action items for tonight. Okay, I make a motion to approve GC-01 bill bids, GC-02 Northeastern North Carolina Co-op.
I'll second that.
Thank you so much.
Chair Cobb, not present. Dr. Sheila Williams,
Yes.
Tommy Owen,
Yes.
Rodney Walton,
Yes.
Diamond Rose.
Yes.
Chair Green.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is the policy committee, and chair of that committee, Mr. Rodney Walton.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask you to raise your hands. This is Superintendent of Human Resources come forward and present policy information for us. Thank you.
Vice Chair Perez, the committee chair, Mr. Walton, board members, good evening. So the policy committee has policies that will present this evening for first read to take action at our next regular meeting. And just to give you a brief overview of what's in your packet tonight, several of the policy revisions are to add legal reference, State Board of Education policy language, reporting requirements, or provide overall clarification. Those policies would be policy 1310 4002 for non-involvement, policy 1760 7280 prohibition against retaliation, policy 4040 7310 staff student relations, policy 4240 7312 child abuse and related threats to child safety, policy 4270 6145 concussion head injury, policy 5071 7351 electronically stored information retention, policy 6125 administering medicines to students, policy 7130 licensure, and policy 8340 insurance. Policy 2127 board member technology use is a required update that changes Twitter to X and revises language to reflect new legal standard and updates legal reference. Policy 3220 technology use in the educational program and policy 3225 43 and 21 7320 technology responsible use as language on artificial intelligence or AI. Policy 3420 student promotion and accountability, and policy 3460 graduation requirements, with reference to credits for study abroad and references to 3-year graduation. Policy 3620 extracurricular activities and student organizations consists of updates concerning interscholastic athletic participation. And I noticed in your packet, the copy has all 3 options as it relates to homeschool students. However, option 2 is the option that aligns with our current policy, and that refers to dually enrolled students. Policy 8510 is the school finance officer policy that updates and to reflect the duty of the finance officer. And then in your packet, there are 2 new proposed policies. The first one being policy 4140, which is for foreign exchange students. We don't have an active foreign exchange program at the moment, but that does create a policy to address the admission of foreign exchange students with J1 visa status in the event that we implement a foreign exchange program. And then policy 5023, 6128, 7268 is for Narcan. It's the Emergency Administration Naloxone, which is something our school nurse has been working with EMS and the state consultant. So we would like the board to consider adoption of that new policy. And we can take questions at the next meeting unless anyone has any questions this evening. So there's no action tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Haynes.
If there's nothing else at this time, I'll ask Dr. Williams to take us to closed session, please.
A motion from the board to go into closed session as allowed by Mississippi General Statute 143, 181186 for the purpose of considering one or more personnel matters that are confidential under NC General Statute 115C20 as allowed by NC Statute 123, to consult with the board attorney regarding matters protected by the attorney-client privilege and to preserve that privilege.
Second.
Chair Cobb is not present. Dr. Sheila Williams,
Yes.
Tommy Owen,
Yes.
Roger Walters,
Yes.
Alan Evans,
Yes.
Sharon Williams.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. The board will resume open session following the closed session.